Hi, it's Michael, clinical psychologist at Grove Psychology. I'm going to talk today about a technique that you can use to help you with difficult thoughts or unhelpful thoughts that you might be having. Our brains are thinking machines. They want to think all the time, they want to solve problems all the time. They're very good at looking at all the things that we've done not very well and trying to give us a solution. To improve that or better that. The problem with that is that it tends to focus on the things that we didn't do well, which makes us not feel good about ourselves. Now, in the past, we've done a lot of work with trying to debate whether that information is true or not. What tends to happen, though, is that you end up going in circles and you're constantly debating, going over and over and over, not really making any sort of headway. So I want to introduce a different way of looking at it today. An act called diffusion, and simply that means getting some distance from your thoughts so that you can then look at them for what it is, words that are going through your mind at that point in time, no different from any other words. Okay, so the simple way of doing this is putting in front of the thought that you're having, the unhelpful thought that you're having, I'm having the thought that. So I'll give you an example. Example might be you're thinking that you're a loser, right? Perhaps you've gone to try and do something, you've tried out for something, or you've gone for a job interview or something like that. Hasn't gone well, you haven't won or got the job or whatever it might be, and you're having the thoughts, I'm such a loser, I always stuff up, etc., etc., etc. And obviously they're not feeling very good about yourself. So what I want us to work on there is, rather than trying to debate whether that's true or not, is I'm having the thought that I'm a loser. And we're not changing anything here. We're not trying to get into any debates. We're not trying to rationalize anything or look for evidence. But we're simply saying I'm having the thought that. And that distance then gives us a chance to look at alternatives. We can then go into, what do I need to do next? Maybe you can then, say if you're going for a job interview, you can try and work on improving your CV, or you can try and improve your techniques in terms of interviews, that sort of thing. But you can't do that beforehand because you're too caught up in the emotion and the thoughts that are going through your mind. So this gives us a chance to then go, what do I need to do now, critically, okay? That's one aspect. There are many other ways of trying to do this, and this won't work all the time, but it gives us something in our back pocket that we can try and work on, and it's a really useful technique. I'm having the thought that I'm a loser. So those words now lose some of the power that they had. They become more like any other words that go through our mind, and we can then start to say, well, my thoughts are just thoughts. And sometimes my thoughts are not particularly helpful, but they're just thoughts. Just because I'm thinking them doesn't make it true. So this would be a really useful one for you to try. You could do with anything that comes up. An example that you might want to try now is just think of something that's happened recently that's been quite difficult for you. You've had some unpleasant thoughts or unhelpful thoughts about that. Really get it in your mind, really think and overthink, go through that, allow it to sink in, and then try. I'm having the thought that, and just notice, what's that like? Does some of the heat go away from it? Some of the power go away from that? Do you feel slightly different? It's okay if you don't, but does it change a little bit? And that's what we're looking for. Is there a little bit of a change there? Okay. Hope that's been useful. Make sure you check out some of our other videos on lots of different topics there. All right, take care. Bye.